What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Spilling Wine. I'm your host, Kelly. Today I have Dante, aka Intell, rapper, songwriter, playwright, and creator of second generation Wu. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Been looking forward to this.
Me too. Thank you. So, you have a lot going on, but let's start with your story. Who is Intell behind just being the son of a Wu-Tang legend?
He's a father. He's all around just, regular guy, likes to joke and laugh and um still that little boy that likes to play with Legos and play with toys and but now he's got a lot of responsibility to take the creativity that he's been gifted with and push it forward and continue to represent it at the highest caliber.
Mm-hmm. What was your earliest memory of hip hop?
My earliest memory of hip hop was family gatherings and functions. My mother played The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and that album is still very, very special to me, like sonically and lyrically, to the point where my son, his name is Lauren,
I love that.
Loryn. And yeah, Lauryn Hill impacted me that much to, where I wanted my son to have the name Lauren. And he's a musician now as well. So it's just the power of music is incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you feel like there was pressure to live up to the Wu-Tang legacy?
There's a little bit of pressure now at this point in my career because all my hard work has culminated into me being able to have conversations with the right people. One of them being RZA, the creator, the abbot of the Wu-Tang Clan. And after having that conversation with him, now I feel a little bit of pressure to just keep doing what I'm doing, but maintain it in a way that, is respectful of what they built, which I was already doing, but now I have the actual abbot telling me to do so, and that makes a huge difference. Whereas growing up and then, even beginning my career and for most of my career, I felt no pressure to live up to the Wu-Tang legacy because people they didn't always associate me with Wu-Tang right away, and then when they found out and then they was like, okay, well, at this point we already know he can stand on his own too, lyrically. I didn't come out the gate saying who my father was or my affiliation to Wu, so I think that helped. But yeah, the pressure is on now, especially
Yeah.
they're on tour, the final tour, so a lot of people are going to be paying attention to what me and the other second generation Wu members have coming out.
Yeah. So what age were you when you started stepping out into the entertainment industry and kind of shadowing what they were doing?
I started, I would say my official career probably like 18. I was in college. I started to, go to open mics and do shows on the weekends in the summertime and get booked for events and stuff like that. So yeah, from 18. But I started writing when I was 13.
Wow. And I know you did have an accident when you were younger. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I am a survivor of gun violence. I was shot 2.5 years old through my hand, through my kidney, through my spine.
Wow.
And I was paralyzed from the waist down. And the doctors told my family I'd never walk again, but they didn't take that as a response, and they put me in physical therapy right away, and I walk to this day. I'm keeping the wheelchair away.
I love that.
But it's still a struggle, every day. The pain, I still live with the pain. Not knowing exactly where it comes from too is a struggle, because I don't exactly remember what happened to me. I was so young. I don't.
Do you know how it happened? Or do you know like who you were
Yeah,
with?
I
The
know
story?
all the details around it from telling the story myself, having it told to me, and getting perspectives from other family members. I was able to weave together a three-dimensional image of what happened in my mind, but no actual memories or even dreams.
That's great though.
Never had
It
a
saved
dream
you the
about it.
trauma.
Yes, yes. I guess I should appreciate that, but I have
Yeah.
often wondered what it would be like if I did remember. Would I have nightmares? I don't know.
Maybe.
That's a great question.
But it saved you from having PTSD at least, which is amazing.
Correct. I was able to relive it or retell it
Yeah.
for my whole career and even now without being brought back to it. So that is a blessing.
That is a blessing. What was the best advice your father or any Wu-Tang member has ever given you?
My father told me this when I was very young. He gave me a lot of great advice, but very little of it in the music world because he didn't want me to do that. He wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer.
So how did he feel when you started making music?
Um, I'm not entirely sure. We didn't talk about it.
Wow.
He has commented on it since, because I've been doing it for over 15 years. But at the beginning, it was just silence.
Really?
I was afraid to even mention it to him for like the first couple years. I was selling CDs in high school, but I didn't tell my father that I was
Wow.
making music because I was scared
Mm.
of what he might think. And then eventually I did tell him, and he was like, "Oh, your name is whack."
Really?
Yeah, he's like,
Where did the name come from?
um, Intell. So, like I was always like kind of like the smart kid, the nerdy kid, in school.
Got it.
So I started calling myself intelligent black, and that was too much. It was also too aggressive. I feel like people would think I'm like a Black Panther rapper. So I just shortened it to young Intel, because around that time everyone was young this, young jock,
Right.
young this, young whatever. And so I was like, oh, I'm young Intel. Just, it's also the prefix of like intelligent, intellectual, intelligence. And I
Right.
like those words. I've
Right.
always been associated with those words, or people have associated me with those words. Even though I don't think I'm like a genius, like technically, I'm just I pay really good attention, and I follow instructions really well. And I do what I say I'm going to do. So if those three things make me a genius, then like, I guess I'm a genius.
Yeah. And you handle pressure really well.
Thank you.
You have a lot
Yeah.
on your plate.
Yeah. That's where
leader.
I live. I don't know, like without having that type of pressure, I don't know what to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then I'm just like, am I on vacation? Like, is
And
this
you
a
kind of
vacation?
feel like useless, or you don't know what to do with yourself.
Exactly. I always need to be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
You got a lot on your plate too.
Yeah.
The show is growing, and
Thank
soon
you.
it'll be even bigger.
Thank you. But yeah, it is hard, but it's a sacrifice that you have to make.
Yeah.
But I see that your children are into music. That must make you really proud.
Absolutely. They go to a music school, and they just had their first recital, and I'm immensely proud. They're getting artist badges at 4 and 6, and they're playing all kind of instruments that dad doesn't even know how to play.
That's so
And I'm
cute.
like, this is incredible. So I'm
That's
glad
really
that
cute.
their mother and their family can be in an environment that supports that, and it have geared them towards that, because I see them when I can, but I spend a lot of time trying to put food on the table. So their mom is very good at reminding them that, hey, art is just as important as the math and the science and the geography and all that stuff.
That's
So,
amazing that you guys teach them that.
yeah,
Because it is.
absolutely, they have incredible imaginations. And my son freestyles already, whether
Aw.
he's singing or rapping. He's sending me 8-minute long voice notes of him just rapping and freestyling. And eventually I'm going to take, because if he's sending me a whole bunch, I got to catch up. I want to take it all. I'm going to turn it into an album for him, hopefully for his birthday. So
Aw, that's so
by
cute.
December is my deadline.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
And I do see that they listen to your music.
Yes.
So is there anything that you kind of refrain from talking about in your songs because you know that they're listening?
They do listen. I'm glad they listen, but their mom puts them on to like the stuff that me and her have together, which is a little bit more family friendly.
Okay.
But they have heard some of my other stuff, some of their mom's other stuff, and they critique it just like people older, because thankfully they're smart enough to discern good language and bad language and context, and they understand song composition and writing structure. So and their vocabulary is very high. Even though my daughter's 4, my son's 6, so her vocabulary is that of a 6-year-old, because they talk to each other, and we talk to them like adults.
Yeah.
So they can critique someone using a bad word in a song and be like, there's probably a better word there for that,
That's amazing.
And the freedom of speech in me is like, my art is my art, I will explain it to them as they go along and as they get older, because them hearing a song from their dad at 10 is different than when they hear it at 20, is different than when they hear it at 30 and 40, and I'll be there every step of the way to explain it if I need to.
Right. And I'm sure they're old enough to understand, like, okay, this is something that I shouldn't be saying.
Yes, or listening to. Like a lot
Right.
of my music, they're not really into rap like that
Mhm.
yet. They're really into like there's a lot of bands that just play music, aimed for like younger audiences. You ever heard of the Glass Animals? So
Mhm.
they're really into the Glass Animals.
Wow.
So yeah, I love their music.
Do they listen to pop or anything?
Yep, yep. But like whatever is either on the radio or whatever their
Yeah.
mom gives them, they don't really search too much for like the adult music. They search more for like the kids bop stuff or like the
Yeah.
music from the shows that they watch in Netflix or like the movies that they watch. Like there's a song called Dancing in the Dark by Rihanna from this movie called Home. Oh, my daughter loves this song. I catch her singing it in the back all the time. Yeah. It's incredible.
That's so cute. So you mentioned to me off camera about the Wu-Tang effect.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
So the Wu-Tang effect is something that I believe happens when a woman that I've been with intimately, either short term or long term, after they are no longer with me, I feel like anything they see in their environment or their life that is Wu-Tang related will instantly generate me in their mind. And I have collected no data to see if this is actually true, but how could it not? You know what I mean? Like if I wasn't me and I was with someone who was, I don't know, Jizz's niece, no disrespect. I would, and then, we broke up or whatever. And then I went to a Wu-Tang show or even seen a commercial for Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I would immediately think about my time with
I mean, yeah,
his
that's,
niece,
I feel like that's a given though.
Yes and no, because some of the women that I have been
I feel like
with,
I see something Wu-Tang and think of you.
well, then you just let me know it extends beyond people that even know me. I mean, know me on that level. Like, if you just
Right.
know me, maybe it affects you as well, which is great. So then if you
Yeah.
know me on that deeper level, then it's like you said, it's like a guarantee almost. So this theory, this hypothesis will be proven.
It's true. It's proven to be true.
And I gotta ask an ex. Or hey, if any of you are watching this, because I know you're watching this because you watch me still, and it's okay. I'm entertaining. I'm an entertainer. It's okay. If I wasn't an entertainer, then it'd be creepy. But it's like we're no longer together, but I'm still an entertainer. Maybe they still listen to my music. It's cool. But I know you're watching, so just let me know. Like, hey, like when you see Wu-Tang stuff, do you think of me? Just like
100%. That must suck so bad for them though. Because like it's a popular thing that they see a lot, so they probably think of you a lot. And they're probably like, oh damn.
I mean, most of my previous partners, we didn't end on bad terms. So if they do think of me, hopefully they think of me in a positive light. But I would imagine it can be challenging if their new partner or their friends or someone in their life that's new is a huge Wu-Tang fan, because then now you're getting overloaded. You know what I mean? Overloaded all over again, and then especially then you have to decide. You gotta decide. Do you tell them?
I know, that's so awkward. That's awkward, and then it also makes their partner feel like, damn,
right?
Like, now I gotta live up to that.
Now I don't want to, my issues with myself. I'd be like, nah, I'm not that important in other people's life, because everyone is the main character in their own story. But it does make me wonder, like you pass that Wu-Tang W, do you think of me? You hear a Wu-Tang song, do you think of me? Because a lot of them weren't really Wu-Tang fans until then, after me, then they're like, they're Wu-Tang fans.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I'm like, I mean, except for the ones that were, but most of them, if they either liked rap, but they liked the pop more rap, or they were like a diehard Wu-Tang fan. It wasn't no really like gray area. But the ones that didn't really like him, I brought them over, just by like default. Not like me like playing the music all the time, but it's like if we're going over barbecue's house and it's Method Man's house, you know what I mean? Like after that you might start listening to some Method Man music.
Yeah. Or do
just
you
out of
think
curiosity.
Do you think that they were trying to impress you by kind of like listening to the music?
No. The best way to impress me, and some women have done this, is to listen to my music. Like, and not just like the last thing, like go back and listen to early stuff. Only 2 women in my life have ever done that. And I really appreciate that they did. It makes me feel special, and it makes me feel like, wow, you're actually trying to understand me. Because yeah, you could talk to me and get direct from the source, but like my music is also a great source to get to know me. I'm very honest in my music, and you can learn a lot about me just from listening to, any one of
Mm-hmm.
my albums.
Have you ever dated a fan?
I haven't dated a fan. I've been intimate with a fan, and that was a very wild experience. I don't know if I would date a fan. What do
That's
you mean
kind
by
of uncomfortable.
fan?
That's kind of uncomfortable.
What?
I don't, because like you're put on a pedestal at that point, right?
Oh, well, this was in my younger, wilder years, and I had to learn, well, what her level of fan was, because she wasn't a fan of me. She was a fan of what my father built. And because of that, she extended her energy towards me, but I
Got
could
it.
figure it out after a certain point. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that didn't feel good. So I haven't recreated that type of behavior. But I wouldn't date a Wu-Tang fan,
Yeah, no, that's so uncomfortable.
An Intell fan, I might give her a shot. Kelly, I might give
No,
an Intell fan a shot.
Oh my God, you're such a Libra. You're a Libra? Oh my
I am a
God.
Libra gang.
Libras just need their ego stroked all the time.
It helps. It helps because my ego is normally shitting on me. You know what I mean? When I'm by
Yeah,
myself.
I
So
understand that.
it helps when it gets distracted by some compliments.
I
But if she's like a
understand.
fan, like she wants to like keep my hair or like clone me, then it's like,
Oh my
okay, yeah,
God.
because there's levels to fan. Like I'm a huge Eminem fan, but I'm
I
not.
love Eminem
I'm not
too.
gonna get on a plane to go see him. That's a different level of fan. Then you have
Got
those
it.
levels of fan. Then you have people that get on a plane, rent a hotel. Then you have people that get on a plane, rent a hotel, stand outside the venue all day and night just to try to get a picture. Then you got the fans that try to break in to his house. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
different. It's
that's a
different
lot.
levels. I'm all the way
That's
at
a
the
lot.
bottom. Like, music's dope, bro. I'll buy a CD.
Yeah.
Buy a shirt.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's get into the real dating questions.
Ooh.
Do you get recognized in public?
I do sometimes, and it's awesome. I like to say I'm 0.01% famous, trying to get that 0.1 to 1 to 100. But yes, I do get recognized in public, more so when I leave Staten Island. So like when I'm in Canada or like when I was in when I was in Europe, yeah. Because they actually watch my music videos and they actually watch, like, you gotta watch, not just listen.
To recognize you, right?
Correct. So they're watching my stuff, so they have my face is kind of in their minds. Whereas my local audience probably just does more listening. But that's my fault. I gotta get more active and more visible. But I have been noticed, and then I've also been noticed while I was out on a date, and that was awesome.
Was it by a girl?
No, it was by a guy, but I had just finished. She said, "What do you do?" And she had
Oh my
asked me,
God,
"What
that's
do you
hilarious.
do?" And I was like, because answering that question is sometimes challenging for me. Yeah, but I try to pick the one that sounds the most financially lucrative. So I say I own my own entertainment company. It's usually the go-to. And instead of saying I'm a rapper or a songwriter, even songwriter sometimes works, but like, they want to know, well, what do you own? What is that producing?
Right.
And someone's like, yo, are you Intel? And I was like, yeah, what's good, bro? He's like, yo, can I get a picture? I was like, cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did she say after that?
It happened once. She was like, oh wow, that's so cool. You must be something. Let me see your Spotify. So then she started listening to my music.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I gotta have that happen more, because people always ask me like, would you want that level of fame, like the Kanye West level of fame, where like paparazzi's following you all over?
No, absolutely not.
And I was like, I don't know if I would want that exact level, but I am willing to give it a shot because the alternative is not where I want to be. You know what I mean? It's not what I want. Or rather, I don't know until I've tried both. I don't know if the life that I've lived not being famous is really the life that I've always wanted to live until God blesses me with a nice 10-year stretch of super fame and super paparazzis in my face. Then I'll be able to be like, you know what? I like this or I like that. So I'm ready to at least experience that level or whatever levels are close to it.
Yeah. Or even if like you're making music and it's popping off and you just live your life off the royalties for the rest of your life.
That
Like,
I'm also okay with, super okay with, because I don't need to be famous to create a trust fund for my kids. You know what
exactly.
I mean? So that's just a matter of people understanding my value and my worth, which I've always equated to fame, but there are multi-millionaires and billionaires who I don't know their name.
Right.
So I don't need to be famous to make a living. I don't need to be famous to be successful. And I like being an owner, you know? And sometimes owners are quiet in the background. And
Yeah.
if that's my destiny, that's my destiny. Like, as long as I can take care of my family, then I'm cool.
Right.
I'm cool. You know, and maybe my destiny isn't to be the famous thing. Maybe I made the famous thing, you know what I mean? Or famous people, you know what I mean? Like maybe like maybe because Michael Jordan's dad, he's not famous, but he's still Michael Jordan's dad.
Right.
And maybe I'm not Michael Jordan, maybe I'm Michael Jordan's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren and Layla's dad, and they're gonna be superstars.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Thank you.
They're gonna be something one day. 100%.
People think they're twins. I'm like, they're 2 years apart.
No, twins.
Yeah, they because they
Ah.
in the right angle they look alike, but I can obviously see the differences. But people will just look at them real quick and be like, "You cloning? You cloning?" I'm like, "That's illegal."
They do look alike, but they're different heights. So like
Yes,
you can kind of
yes.
tell that they're not twins.
Mhm.
But
People are silly.
yeah.
I don't want to say the other S word. I use that word too much.
Have you ever had someone try to use you because of who you were?
Men mostly try to influence and manipulate me because they think that I'm on their intellectual level.
Hmm.
Women, not so much. If they have, I was either oblivious to it to the point where it didn't work, or I spotted it right away and moved on. Other than the Wu-Tang fan, I guess she just wanted to say that she had been with someone in the Wu or close to the Wu, because she could take that moment or take that experience and say whatever after that. You know what I'm saying? Because no one's
Yeah.
gonna really how you gonna verify? She could literally call me a member of the Wu if she wanted to and be like, yeah, I was with a member of the Wu. Because people have said that, like, introducing me, like, he's a member, Wu-Tang this, Wu-Tang that, and I'm like, yo, we're something different, we are our own people, and we're something very different. But no, I haven't had any women try to get next to me specifically because I'm Intel, or try to gain or anything from that, because I think, they probably realize, like, I'm not gonna fall for that. I'm not gonna fall for that. I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah. Have
Even
you
though I like
ever?
compliments and attention, I do like compliments and
You
attention, so you
do.
can try. You can try. So.
Have you ever had people spread rumors about you? Like, oh, I've talked to him, I've been with him.
Yes. And it was a shock to me because I'm like, I go back to, like, who am I? Like, why would someone say that? But I had a friend, no, I had an ex who told me that when she was hanging out with some people, they were all name dropping me, and me and her were together at the time. So she knew way
God.
more about me than any of them did. She also knew who my circle was. So, like, for her to hear them name dropping me, knowing that she's my girlfriend, and she's
Oh
just sitting
my
there like, you
God. Did
guys are
she say
all.
anything?
No, she let them chat and lie to see how far they would take it and how much they would lie. So now she's learning more about them.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, wow, like, y'all don't. This is what's going on. And then she comes and tells me, and then I wasn't really mad. I was just flabbergasted. Like, them, they are using my name to. It was almost like social currency a little
Yeah.
bit, which is weird to me because often feel like, no one cares. You know what I'm saying? You know why? We'll get into that. But
Mhm.
so to hear that my name was being used as social currency in those circles was fascinating. So, but there's nothing I can do about it. It doesn't concern me when I'm not around. So as long as if my name is in your mouth, as long as you're being respectful, then I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Did they know that that was your girlfriend?
No, they wouldn't have been so
Wow.
frivolously talking because I didn't know any of them. Like, not even.
Wow. So
Maybe
why
I'd
did you
seen them at
get?
a show or something like that, but I didn't know any of them.
How
The
did
way
you
they
get
were.
brought up?
I think they were probably talking about hip hop because it was a rock and roll.
Got
It was a
you.
rock and roll crowd. Like, I'm very cool with the rock and roll crowd, but not everyone in the rock and roll crowd. And she's a rock and roller, so she's in a rock and roll crowd, and rock and roll people using my name, and it's like, but not the rock and roll people that I know. So she was just like,
That's interesting.
very interesting, very interesting.
Wow.
Because some people, they will they'll play that 6 Degrees of Separation with Wu-Tang, so it's like, oh, if I know Intell, then I'm practically in the Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, like I hang out with them all the time. I have no idea who you are, sir.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
What is your biggest ick when it comes to dating?
Oh, all right. I wanted to think of a different name for ick, because I don't think men are allowed to have.
You don't like that word?
icks. Not for men. I think
Okay, so men is like turn off. Right?
right, but I was trying to, still be creative. I don't have enough time. I'll get back to you on that. Maybe not a ick, it's a the UGH. What's
Interesting.
what's my high expectations. When a woman has very high expectations, like right out the gate, because I'm a very chivalrous man, because I come from that era.
As you should be.
Thank you. But if a woman is expecting it and does certain behaviors, then it's just like, like if you get to the door before me, that's fine, and you want me to open the door for you, that's fine. There's a certain way you stand, or a certain way you know what I mean? Just let me catch up. Or you slow down and let me get to the door before you. What you don't do, in my opinion, is like take a huge step back from the door and then cross your arms and then like look at me like, what's up, hurry up, get to the door to open it, because that's just
even like upon first meeting you, like they would act like that.
Well, this only happened like 2 dates, you know what I mean? A little bit older women, older women sometimes they're like treat me like the queen. I mean, well, it doesn't really matter older or younger, it just depends on the woman, but yeah, these particular circumstances, these women were older, and I still did it. I still opened the door and everything, but now in my mind I'm like, never mind. You know what I mean? Like, we're just gonna have a nice dinner and then I'm gonna go home.
Like entitlement.
Yeah, entitlement is a huge turn-off for me. Huge. A woman like not like, you can be ladylike, but don't be ladylike if it's an act. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to stuff your face on the first date, if you're hungry, eat. Like, eat whatever you want, order whatever you want. Don't be like, oh, I'll just have a salad and bread and water. Unless that's what you want, because that's what you want. That's what you want. But like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat in front of you, because if this is gonna go further, we're gonna be eating. I'm gonna be doing a lot of eating. So like, not that I need to see how you eat, but I want you to be comfortable eating in front of me.
Exactly.
From the gate. Because if you're not, then like, I don't know. Should I be comfortable eating in front of you?
Right.
Because I might have like butter sauce in my beard. I might need you to be like, yo, let me get that butter sauce out your beard. So
yeah.
Do I have any more?
What's your biggest deal breaker?
One more. Not letting me like when they ask me a question, because we're getting to know each other, so they ask me questions that are like probing, that may require a little bit of a lengthy answer. So I'll start to give my answer, and then they'll cut me off to say something similar that happened to them, or just start talking about them.
I hate that shit.
Or something that they did similar but was better somehow. So it's just like, that to me sucks all the energy out of me even wanting to say anything. You know what I mean? Because now I feel like you really, and I know this is extreme, but I feel like now you really don't care what I have to say at all. Like, everything I say after this is pointless to you, And that's an issue that I have to work on. But that's where it stems from.
No, it's crazy. I feel the same way. It's like, especially if I'm like passionately talking to you and telling you a story, and you're like, oh, or they try to like change the subject, like as I'm speaking, or when they try to like one up me, like I'll be like, oh, I got 100,000 views on this thing, and they're like, oh, well, I got 110 views on 110,000, like whatever.
It's not a competition.
And I'm like, okay, well, you couldn't be happy for me. You had to be like,
or at least let me finish, before you
literally
interrupt. Crazy.
That's so annoying. I've dealt with so many people like that, and it's hard to be friends with them, because it's like, all right, well, you clearly just want to like compete with me and be here when I'm here. You know what I mean?
Because they feel, and one, I think it's a sign of insecurity, but also like people like that, being around people like us, that we may struggle with our own insecurities, but we are aware of them and we work on them, so that gives us that much more security. And when people are around us that don't have that, they sense it, and it makes them more insecure, and then they just double down on that cycle of like, well, I have to prove myself to this person, or I have to beat this person, or I have to be better than this person in order to feel like I matter next to this person.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle that we all need to break.
Yeah.
Because everyone matters and everyone has their own greatness.
Have you ever had a friend that tried to compete with you in music or songwriting?
Not openly, not like aggressively, but like
low key,
and good luck. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not. You're trying to compete with that part of me. That's not even the full thing. You know what I mean? It's like to compete with to compete with this Dante, you have to be more than just a rapper. You have to be the rapper, the songwriter, the engineer, the producer, the studio. Like, you have to be all that.
Yeah.
Then that's just one piece. If you're trying to compete with Dante, the actor, you got to do this, you got to do that. If you're trying to compete with Dante, the person, you got to do this, you got to do that. So like, there's a lot. But again, it's not a competition, you know, just I try to inspire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're very inspiring. You inspire me.
Oh my God,
And
really?
absolutely. Like with this show and
Thank
just
you.
being, you know, communicative and what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. Your consistency is very important and very inspiring, and that's the one thing, or one of the many things, that separates you and separates others from people that want to do the thing versus people that are doing the thing.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. You too, though.
Thank you.
You're carrying all of that on your back.
We gonna be some strong bag mofos out here.
Yup. So, but you do a lot. So, do you believe in being the jack of all trades? Or do you believe that you have to focus on one thing in order to really make it?
I used to believe that you had to focus on one thing, you know? And now, since I've gotten really, really good at all the things that I do over the time of doing them, I'm like, no, you can do multiple things and be really, really good at multiple things.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of your own determination and will, you know? Like, Michael Jackson was an incredible singer, incredible songwriter, and incredible dancer.
Right.
Those are three things that most human beings cannot compete with him on that level to this day. So,
and Zendaya too. She models, acts, sings, dances.
She has an amazing voice. She is a great actress. I haven't seen her dance, so we will reserve that.
She's a model too.
But singing and dancing, you know, is one of the hardest things to do creatively and artistically on the planet. You know, and then you got people that can sing, act, dance, and play the guitar at the same time. You know, like, have you seen Sinners? Oh, you got to see Sinners. It's incredible. It should be on whatever platform, but that is a movie full of singing, acting, dancing, just people doing multiple things. So I now feel like I'm good at multiple things and I can do multiple things, but that's not for everyone. Some people might just need to, you know, lock in with their one thing, and that's their one thing, and they're really great at it, and they give us gold from that one thing.
Yeah, but also being a good performer, you have to do all the things.
Absolutely. Fitness is great. I had to get back in shape once I started performing again, because I realized, like, you know, you got to be able to jump around and give the people a good show.
And not lose your breath while doing it.
And not lose your breath and say your words and not be like, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot.
For me, it was kind of like, okay, I'm good at all these things. So if this thing doesn't work out, I have this other thing to fall back on.
Right. Yes, that too. Like, that's because my first love is filmmaking. When I was 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker. That's what I got my degree in. So, like, schooling, like, film. But then this music thing is like, you know, the girlfriend, you know, for the wife of filmmaking, you know. But now they're both my loves. Neither is a wife or a girlfriend. They both love me and I love them, and I'm gonna push both of them to the max as hard as I possibly can. But at first it was like, oh man, like, okay, music's not working, let's do acting. Actually, not even let's do acting. I found my way into that through a series of incredible events, because I went to school to be behind the camera, you know. So ending up in front was incredible, you know, all thanks to God.
I'd say if you're meant to do it, then why not? It's something that not everybody could do.
Absolutely.
You know?
And if I ever felt like I couldn't, then I would dial it back. You know, sometimes I do feel like I'm doing too much, you know, and then I'll just dial it back. Like right now, I'm not trying to be Intell and focus on second generation Wu, because I've done that in the past and I burnt out.
It's just too much.
You know, so now I'm like, okay, January to June was Intell. Now June to September will be second gen, and then just more organization.
Mm-hmm. And what was the inspiration behind creating second gen?
That started from an idea I had when I was 13. We were all in the house together, me and Meph's kids, who are my cousins, and Ghost kids, who we call our cousins. And we were all just at the table at my mom's house, some drawing, coloring, writing, just whatever, being kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, like we're all together. This is all of us, and we're all kids of the Wu. And like, this would be interesting if this was like a thing. Like if we, I don't know, if we did something all together in the future.
Yeah.
So fast forward to my career, I had the ability. I was running a studio. I had the ability to invite people and carte blanche. Just they didn't have to pay. They could come and record. We could do whatever we wanted, And I used that time to just invite my cousins, and then I ran into Ghost Kids again, and reached out to Young Dirty Bastard, who's an official member of the Wu now, but wasn't at the time. But he was on tour with them, and just started making music together and putting stuff together, and putting stuff out there, And we had Tommy Boy Records. They were interested for a little while, but didn't go well until we put out our first single independently in 2019. The world loved it. Organically. Then Tommy Boy came around spinning the block like, hey, big head, and we did some business with them.
Wow.
Then COVID hit and quieted everything down, and everyone went their separate ways because we all are dope individually and have our own careers. So we just went back to that during COVID, But I kept second generation Wu alive. I nursed it, and kept it simmering through COVID. And this year we got placement in MTV Family Legacy, which is Paramount Plus.
I saw. That was amazing.
Thank you. And all of us being together again kind of reinvigorated us with that spirit of the camaraderie of like making music together and being together.
That must have been such a surreal feeling, getting hit up by MTV.
It was. I was like, shout out to Shy. They hit her up first, and then she told them about all of us, and then they were like, oh, we could do a whole segment about all of you. Yeah, she alley-ooped that, and because she has the most visibility of all of us right now, because she's on an incredible run. So they reached out to the one who was most visible. They probably reached out to Young Dirty as well, but like he's on some Wu-Tang Clan, big Wu-Tang shit. So she alley-ooped it. We did the special, and it did feel amazing. I was like, wow, this is big. Like this is, even if no music is made after this, we're solidified. We were solidified before. Like you Google Wu-Tang second generation Wu, comes up first page, either all the way at the bottom or somewhere. You Google second generation Wu, solidified. And then now like stuff like this, it's like, yo, like it's a dream come true. Because again, even if we don't have a platinum record or a diamond record, like something I made and they contributed to, and we all put effort into, exists and is solidified in the internet forever, which is kind of like the new etched in stone. If it's on the internet forever, it's on the internet forever.
And it's credible too.
And it's credible. And now I have 100% ownership of it. I used to have a business partner, but he's going to jail.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he did some bad things, but I hope he's okay. And he deserves to be there. No, he definitely deserves to be there. So serve your time and get out and maybe
serve your time and then
serve your time and then hit me up. But like, but now I own it outright, and we're pushing it 110%. We got a new single with all of us on it, and I'm very excited to see what the world thinks.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope you guys continue to do amazing things.
Amen.
Cheers. So you are a single dad. What's the dating scene like for you?
It's been rough. Recently, I would say in 2025. Before that, I took a bit of a break, because before that, I got my heart broken a couple times in a row.
By the same person?
No, two different women.
Oh.
Shout out to them. And then before that, I was engaged to the mother of my children.
Wow.
So I went from being engaged to the mother of my children, a little bit of a break, heartbreak. Then I took a real break, and just to focus on myself, focus on being a dad, focus on my career. But it was lonely, and it was a challenge. But I had this thought. I was like, maybe I'm not meant to have someone. Maybe I'm not meant to be married. Maybe I'm just meant to just be alone and love my kids and do right by them. And I was like, okay, now I didn't die. So I was like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? And I started thinking about like, okay, well, what was your life like between the ages of 10 and 15 before you discovered girls? Like, what were you doing? Like, you were living life. So I was like, okay, let me just do that. And or when I get the opportunity, I'm like, I get back to playing video games. I love Legos. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other things to do. And wouldn't you believe, as soon as I accepted that, like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to have a companion or a partner, that my DMs and my messages began to be the most undry they've ever been. Before that, it was silence, ghost town. And now, after accepting that thought, all this flurry of activity.
It comes when you're not looking for it.
That part might also be correlated to, I've been outside more, my depression is at its lowest, so I've been more socially free, and it also to promote the projects and the music and everything I got going on, because you can't just show people stuff and shove it in their face. They're not always buying the thing. Sometimes they're buying you, and I want people to buy me.
How much are you worth?
That's funny. I'm priceless. I'm priceless. But the entertainment that I produce, I want people to not buy me. I'm not for sale. You can't buy me. This ain't 1745. But yeah, I want people to buy the entertainment, and in order to do that, I have to show them what's behind that, the person behind that. Right. So I've been doing that more, and I think that might have also helped with the increase in female attention. And things are happening, things that on the outside may look more financially lucrative than they actually are, or they might be. So people looking at that, they go like, "Ooh, he got some money. He might have some money. Let me say hi."
Does that make you feel bad about yourself?
Well, it doesn't make me feel bad about myself. It makes me feel
like they're just looking at you as like a financial
that part.
Way.
Because it's like, I've been here. I've been the same Dante the whole time. So it's like the increase in female attention correlating with my things in my career doing well aesthetically. Because they don't know. No one knows my business, the actual contracts and stuff. But public facing things seem to be going well. So I'm fully aware of the correlation. Like, okay, like, oh, more female attention is, according to these things that are happening.
Yeah.
But
it happens to me too.
I'm sure it does, because the people are watching us and they have their assumptions, but also we are successful and we are doing things, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that is very attractive to a lot of people, because a lot of people ain't doing nothing.
Especially on this island.
Especially on this island. But it doesn't bother me, because I'm aware of it. And
it's a compliment, I guess.
Yeah. Until it gets to a point where, like, okay, once we're in real life together, give me the real person. If I don't get the real person, then I understand what this interaction is going to be, and then I move on. But once I get the real person, then I understand, like, oh, okay, you might have been allured by the rapper, pun intended, but you understand that the candy is worth that much more, So you're not just trying to take a bite. You're trying to really, like, enjoy and savor the candy. And I can tell the difference. I can always tell the difference. Right. So.
And a lot of people also can't handle the amount of work that goes into all this stuff.
Yes, it is a lot. And, some people want a more quiet, reserved, peaceful day-to-day. And shout out to them. And maybe, that is in our future. But right now, we grind.
Yeah.
24/7. Like, even when I was not working, I'm working. Like, right before my kids are about to perform, like that waiting period, I'm still on my phone. I'm checking emails. Exactly. I got a contract I have to look at. Like, I was like, I had to really fight myself not to look at it to enjoy the performance and, be in the present. Yeah. Exactly. Do you find that as a struggle for you?
Oh my God, all the time. People are like, oh my God, you're always on your phone. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm editing this reel that I need to post tonight.
It's like, and then because you're thinking too, like, if I do it now, that's more time I have to relax later, or sleep, or eat, or for myself later. If
I'm doing a lot by myself. I don't have a team of people. I have Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. Hell yeah. And I edit everything manually. No AI. There's no AI on my page.
You use Premiere or Final Cut?
I use Movavi, this app. I used Premiere before. I love it. It's a little complicated, but I got used to it. And I love CapCut. CapCut is my best friend.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm old school, so I still use Final Cut, but CapCut is very, very nice. I had to get
CapCut.
used to
It's
it.
so easy.
One of the younger editors I know put me onto it
Yeah.
because I was like, I was like not against it, but I was just old manning the situation. I was like, no, Final Cut has to be. But your edits are phenomenal.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
Keep up the good work. And if you do get an assistant, just make sure that they know where the bar is.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've tried to hire people to do things for me, but it's like I want everything my way.
Mm-hmm.
Not like in a bad way, but like, they'll do something that I'm not like a big fan of. And I'm like, no, you know what? I'll just do it.
Oh, because they think that they are. See, that's the people don't realize that they're employees. They like you could be on the team, but you're an employee on the team.
Yeah.
Like when I was working at Apple, I didn't get to decide the colors of the iPhone. Like I just sold phones, bro.
Yeah.
So if I'm an editor, my job is to follow the exact.
I know.
Anyway.
I know.
You'll
But
find the right people.
Nothing is AI on my page.
That's good.
No shortcuts here. I do everything manually, everything by myself, and I hustle my way to keep this running. So like and subscribe and follow us.
Yes, always.
But yeah, I know it's really hard to date because they don't understand the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
They really just don't. They don't understand the working 24/7 and oh, I'm sorry, I'll answer your text message in 10 minutes. I have to like do this really quick.
Right. And so I feel like 10 minutes is still pretty good because some people take days or like hours or days to respond, which to me is like insane. I'm always got my phone in my hand. I'm a very quick responder.
Me too.
Unless I'm sleeping in the shower or with my kids.
Me too.
Or no, if I'm cooking, I'm still gonna, I got one hand free.
Yeah, and you could also, hey Siri, text this person,
Yes, there's so many ways to respond and get the, quickly instead of just leaving people hanging. People want to pretend that they're cool. What's it like for you in 2025, the dating scene?
Dating is such a struggle because I feel like a lot of men are kind of intimidated by me and like my work hustle and just the way I carry myself, that they don't want to put in the work to try to meet me where I'm at.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. They're trying to get you to just come into their world and leave your world instead of like
kind of
trying to figure out a way to make both worlds work.
Kind of. And they're also like you've mentioned, like the outside looking in, I look like I'm put together and successful and everything is just under control and I have like everything established. So they're like, oh, like, let me not mess that up. Like, let me not even touch her.
Right.
Or sometimes they feel like they're not good enough, which is crazy to me.
Right.
But that's something that I hear.
Men, I mean, I can't speak for all men, but from the conversations I've had, we definitely struggle with that, especially now because women are constantly evolving. But the current evolution of a woman in 2025 is very, very different than when we were hunter-gatherers. You know what I mean? Like, y'all not just gathering berries, y'all gathering billions. And sometimes the man is making the PB&J with the apron.
Yeah.
I would do that. If you a billionaire and you want me to just make PB&J with the apron, holla at your boy, because I'm tired, my back hurt. But I'm from that era where, it's the other way around. So at first, encountering the new evolved woman, it can be a bit intimidating because there are also men that are maybe at her level or higher. So if she's 100 millionaire, maybe she wants a billionaire and not the entertainment rapper. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe she wants the basketball player who just signed a 8-figure deal or whatever deal. But as I got older, and again, this is my advice to all people, just be who you are.
Yeah.
And that will tell you everything you need to know about the other person, how they respond to that.
Right.
Because it's not that we should feel bad when we are who we are and the person doesn't accept us. We should take that as a sign that this is just not someone that we were supposed to be aligned with. Because there are plenty of people who are going to find you amazing, and you just got to get around them. But that might take time and searching and going out and living life. So, yeah, it's a struggle. But I like a woman that is successful, knows what she wants to do, can take care of business, but wants to be like taken care of in certain other ways.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let me be a CEO, but like when we're on vacation, I'm baby me. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
because I need that, because I'm got my armor on. all the time.
Yeah,
And
it's
when
so
I'm with my man,
exhausting.
I don't want my armor on, you know what I mean? And the same thing with or a variation of that with men. It's like I have to have my armor on all the time. When I'm with my woman, I don't want to. I would like to be able to be emotional and
Exactly.
soft and vulnerable. You know what I mean? That men have a very hard time being vulnerable because growing up, either our fathers was like, "That shit ain't it," you know, or our mothers was like, "That shit ain't it," you know, or the women that we was with was like, "What? You crying? That shit ain't it," you
Yeah,
know. So
no.
the
That's
vulnerable
toxic.
man is the evolved version of the can do everything woman in 2025. But like, do those puzzle pieces fit in 2025? You know, more
Yeah,
research
it's
is
just
needed.
really hard.
That was a
It's
great
hard to
question,
find
though.
someone that you're compatible with, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And keep compatibility, because you could be
Yes.
compatible for a little while, and then you have to work towards it to keep the compatibility, because you're both changing and evolving as you
Yeah.
grow. Because me and my kid's mother were very compatible, and then at some point the compatibility just started to misalign.
How long
You
were you
know?
guys together for?
We were together for a year and a half. Then I proposed. Then we had our son. Then we separated. Then we had our daughter in 2020. And then we separated in 2021. The end of
Oh,
2021.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we're good now. She's amazing. And my kids are amazing.
They're so adorable.
Thank you.
What's something you think women don't realize about dating a single dad?
Um. Priorities. They might not know where his priorities are, which is why they should find out immediately. Because not every single dad is like, oh, my kids are my priority and my top priority at all times. You know, some single dads are like, yeah, I see my kids every once in a while and I'm out here living my life. You
True.
know what I mean?
True.
Like, but me, till I am no longer breathing, my kids will always come first, you know? So any new woman in my life has to understand that my favorite girl from now on will always be my daughter.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is, you know. That's not to say I won't find love again or be in love again or whatever that mushy gushy stuff is. But as long as the woman who was trying to be a part of my life understands that my kids come 1st, then we're solid. You know, we can progress.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're more intentional about who you date because you have kids? Like you have to find somebody that is gonna fit in with your family eventually.
I actually haven't gotten that far in dating anyone where I've had those thoughts, you know, because like my mind right now is like, I gotta get to the bag.
Yeah.
You know, like the dates that I have been on have been women that were pursuing me, which I always appreciate. So I lean into that and I go with that because it's nice. But as far as pursuing specific women that I want to pursue, even with that, like I don't have what I would believe I need to have to really do that the proper way.
Yeah.
You know, even though I know there's men out here with way less that's, you know, getting
Right.
women and in relationships and happy even because not all women are about the materialism or about what the man can provide, you know, love can still conquer all. But I'm from an older time where, you know, I just need certain things for myself to feel confident in my abilities as a man before I like pursue a woman to try and like start over with building something that's really that solid.
Yeah.
And I let them all know that, you know, or any woman that I, you know, am dating now or go out with now, if they ask, you know, because sometimes I go out and it's just a real fun first layer. Well, what do you like? And what's your favorite color? And did you see this? You know, sometimes I go out with people and we don't get deep at all.
Yeah.
You know, it stays surface level. And that's fun too.
Do you think men should be asked out on dates?
I don't know about should. I think it's okay. I've been asked out on dates and I actually prefer it. I don't, at this age, like 20, 15 years, 15 years? No, 10 years. 10 years of having to always be the asker is tiring.
I know.
You
Yeah.
know? And when a woman, also, it screams confidence. When a woman is like, nah, I see what I like, I'm going to ask you, and then forget social norms, that lets me know that she's confident and she's open-minded. Boom. Two things that I, right off the gate,
Got it.
we're gonna vibe. But don't mind if seeing a woman that if I feel like she's not gonna ask me, like she's one of those type of women that's like very traditional, then I will ask. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong. Now, a woman proposing to a man, I'm not there yet. I'm not
Yeah,
there
that's a
yet with my
little
open-mindedness. Like, nah, I feel like that should be still like a man should bend his knee. You know, something about the bending of the knee. It goes back to like
right.
medieval times for me. So,
What about a girl asking, "Would you be my boyfriend?" Do you think that's a little
no, I think that's
weird?
an important conversation. Just asking the question like that is, I don't know, maybe jarring, but the conversation definitely needs to be had, like it usually comes in the form of like, so like, what is this? Are we serious? Like, what are we doing? What
Yeah.
is this? Because you can't just keep dot dot dot.
Mm,
But I have no problems with that conversation or that I guess that question because yeah, communication is key and we got to know what this is. So
yeah.
yeah.
How long do you think people should date before they're exclusive?
For me, I feel like exclusive. I'm old school. For me, exclusivity begins at intercourse. That's for me. Like, I mean, really, if I kiss you, I don't want you kissing anybody else. Like, why would you even want to kiss someone else? Like, if you kiss me on Monday, you love kissing that much, you're gonna kiss a whole different other motherfucker on Tuesday? Like, just call me on Tuesday and we'll figure it out. Like, but I know I can't, that's old school, I guess. So, but for me, yeah, once we exchange saliva, because that's a bodily fluid and that's important.
Yeah.
But definitely intercourse is like, okay, like the conversation has to be had, like, what's going on? Because you're not getting none of the,
Hell
so
no.
you ain't getting all this free loving, like, what are we doing here? So
And where can my listeners find you?
you can find me on all streaming platforms under Intell, Intell. As Dante, you can find me on Amazon Prime, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and on Instagram is intel.music and Second Generation Wu. Keep up. We got big things coming, and you won't be disappointed.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, listen on Spotify. Make sure to rate us 5 stars on there. Shop the merch. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.